The next technique is called as EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. The EFT technique, the reason it works is, if you remember in India also, there is a beautiful technique called as acupuncture. How many of you know about acupuncture or acupressure? Raise your hands. It works on the basis of the science that our body has some energy meridian points. Now, these meridian points basically have certain energy centers of your body where energy gets stored due to gravity. Let me give you an example of that. Whenever you have your house dirty, where will you see the maximum dirt? Will you see the maximum dirt on the borders and the corners, or in the center of the house? Where do you generally see all the dust settling? Where do you generally see all the mosquitoes settling? Where do you see all this negative energy? You will observe all of this goes into the corners and borders. That is why you'll observe the borders are generally dark of the house. How many of you have noticed it? Where are all the cobwebs? Center of the house or corners of the house? The spiders, corners. Where will you find the cockroaches, the mosquitoes? Where will you find the lizards? Are they generally towards the borders of the wall and the corners of the wall, or in the center of the wall? Always in the corners and the borders. Why? That's how gravity works. Wherever is the corner will always store the maximum negative energy. Write this down. Corners and borders will always store maximum negative energy. So in Vastu, in Wealth Mastery, we teach a lesson on Vastu, where we say that whenever you want to heal the Vastu of a particular house, you must always heal the corners and the borders. Okay? That is why in our body also, there's something called as corners and borders. Now these points are known as energy meridian points, where there are turns in the body. And during these turns, a lot of energy gets stored, which is called as your negative energy. Now, where is this negative energy coming from? Feelings. Anything we feel negative for a long period of time is stored in your cells in the form of blood. And that blood goes and gets stored in that corners and the borders on those energy meridian points. Once it gets stuck over there, it remains frozen for some time. Over a period of time, it becomes strong. It becomes rigid. This is called swelling or inflammation in your body. How many of you can relate with what I'm saying now? Correct? Once there is inflammation, once there is swelling, is it sensitive or insensitive, that area of your body? Tell me, S for sensitive, I for insensitive. Does it hurt easily? Yes. Not just like that. There are a lot of unconscious sensitive meridian points in your body which you are not aware of. All our negative emotions go and stay in that part of your body. EFT is a beautiful technique which can release the energy that is in that area by tapping in that area. That is why this is called as emotional freedom tapping. So emotional freedom, which means freedom from those emotions by tapping, and hence the word tapping or technique. Now here is how it works. Again, instead of first teaching you the science, I'll do the practice with you. And here, I want all of you to work on a very important emotion with me called fear. How many of you are a little bit scared, a little bit nervous about being healers here? Raise your hands. We all are, right? A little bit, we all are. So let's work on that emotion of fear as a healer. Okay? So come to the gallery view. So you know that you can see me, you can see everybody else practicing together. Okay. I'm going to keep that music on again. You don't necessarily need the music for EFT, but I like to use it. Here we go. All right. Simply follow what I'm doing for now. Later, I will teach you the science behind it. Your one hand like this. With your other hand, your 4 fingers, you're going to be tapping here in this part of your body. Okay? So tap with me and repeat what I'm saying. Even though I feel scared whether I'll be a successful healer or not, in spite of that, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Even though I have this fear about whether I'll be able to heal people or not, in spite of that, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Even though I'm doubting the healer inside me, in spite of that, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Everybody take your hands like this. Take a deep breath with me. Okay, one thing I forgot. Quickly write down what is your level of fear before we start this activity on a level of 1 to 10. Just tell me the number in the chat window, because we're all working on the same emotion of fear right now. Okay, same nervousness of becoming a healer. Okay, now that you know the number, close your eyes. Let's check the sensation in your body. Imagine doing healing for somebody, especially professionally, and asking for money for it, and allow that fear to increase. And check where in your body are you feeling that fear. And if you know the sensation, just write it down so you remember it. Done. Now let's begin again. Open your eyes, take your 2 fingers like this, and tap the beginning of your eyebrows, and you're just tapping it like this. Okay? And as you're tapping it, repeat with me. This fear of being a healer, release. Now look at me. From here, we are shifting our attention to our side of eyes. So look at me. This is the temple point. Tap over here and repeat with me. All my self-doubt for being a healer, release. Now below your eyes over here, all the tension I feel for being a healer, release. Now on the top of your head, all your 4 fingers, because it's a larger area on the head, on the center of your head, you're just tapping. It's like all my fear of being a healer, release. Now upper lips with 2 fingers again. Any tension I feel for being a healer, release. All the self-doubt I feel for being a healer. This is now the lower lip. Focus on me here so you know where I'm tapping. Over here, release. Now with all 4 fingers on both your hands, you're going to be tapping at the collarbone point, where you'll feel there's a bone over here. Just tap together. And say, all the self-doubt I have for being a healer, release. Underarms 1. All the fear I have for being a healer, release. Any tension I have for being a healer, release. Now we're going to be tapping towards the thumb area, which is right here. On the thumb where the skin and the nail meets, that's exactly where you're tapping. For each finger, you're going to do it exactly the same border. So the way I like to do it is I like to keep my hands like this and tap from the top, so I'm getting some base to hold and the tapping works properly. So like this. All the fear I have in any area of my life now, release. Now you're going to do this finger for health. All the fear I have for not taking action in my health, release. Next finger. All the fear I have in my relationships, release. Third finger. All the fear I have in my career, of any type of fear, release. Last small finger. All the fear I have for making money in my life, release. Finally here, same point we started with. Even though I doubt myself, even though I'm a little scared of being a healer, in spite of that, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Take your hands like this, take a deep breath. Perfect. I want you to close your eyes quickly. Imagine yourself doing a healing session for somebody, the way you imagined in the beginning of this session. Imagine professionally doing healing for somebody and check what you're feeling. Check that part of your body where the sensation was there. It must have gone down. All right, so who would like to share how did you feel after using EFT for that fear of being a healer? Raise your hands. All right, starting with Chakpreet, how are you feeling? Hold on. Let me come back here. All right, now. Yes, Chakpreet, go for it.
Yeah, I had self-doubts on being a healer. So that is why this is third time. So
what was the
every
intensity
time
earlier?
Intensity was around 7 to 8.
Where was the sensation?
Sensation was at my heart.
Okay.
So when I did this EFT technique, it reduced to 2.
Wow. Amazing.
And now I feel much better, and I know I can now I can do it. I'm confident enough to do it as a
Wow.
healer.
I see that energy in your eyes now. Amazing. Congratulations. All of you
Thank
on
you.
mute, give him a high five. Congratulations for being a magical healer.
Congratulations for
Congratulations for
being a
being a
magical healer.
magical healer.
Congratulations on being a magical healer.
All right. And let's go to Vidhi. Hey, Vidhi, go for it. I've unmuted you.
Hi.
Yes. Hi.
I felt a sensation in my tummy.
Hmm.
The fear was all because of a lot of self-doubt, and
Okay.
it was in my tummy. But so when I imagined it, I felt the pain there. And after we finished the EFT technique completely, and when I replayed the incident, I have to say, from a intensity of 7, I it was an intensity of 1. I really couldn't feel
Wow.
much.
Wow. Amazing.
So
Congratulations. So
it
ready to
was
be a healer now.
definitely.
Amazing. Congratulations. All of you on
Thank
mute,
you.
give her a high five. Congratulations for being a magical healer.
Congratulations for being a magical
Congratulations for
healer.
being a magical healer.
All right. Now, let me show you the exact steps that I implemented with all of you. Once again, if you want, you can go to the manual for this. But I would rather, instead of directly showing you in the manual, I want you to memorize the steps with me. How many of you are okay with that? All right. So here we go. The first thing is always start at this point. This is called as the karate chop point with 4 fingers. So you start here, you end here. The reason you're using 4 fingers because larger area, 4 fingers, smaller area, 2 fingers. When you're tapping, the statement that you're saying is, if you want, you can write it down. Even though, so you're always starting with even though I am feeling this fear. Now it can be even though I'm feeling this anger, or even though I'm feeling stuck in my life, or even though I hate this person, even though I'm feeling helpless in my life, even though I'm feeling small in my life, even though I'm feeling jealous, even though I'm feeling pain in my head, even though I'm feeling pain in my back, even though I'm feeling pain in my lower hips, wherever you are feeling pain, physically or emotionally, you're going to start with saying, even though I am feeling this. The last part of the statement is, in spite of that, I love and accept myself the way I am. In spite of that, I love and accept myself the way I am. Now, the logic in that statement is, the science is, that whenever we have any physical pain, whenever we have any emotional pain, who's the first person we start criticizing and hating? Ourselves. Like, and you will hear yourself saying things like, why am I like this? How many of you have heard yourself saying that? Right? You're judging yourself. You're criticizing yourself. You're constantly judging yourself for why are you like that? And that is why 3 times you have to repeat. Even though I have this feeling, I love and accept myself. Even though I have this pain, I love and accept myself. 3 times. Then you take your hands like this and you take a deep breath like this. Simple. Now comes the main part. 2 fingers like this and you will start here. Wherever you're tapping, I'll show you all the points right now. But wherever you're tapping, immediately you're going to say 2 things while tapping. The emotional word or the physical pain, you're going to mention it because that's where the intention plays the role. So either the physical pain is backache, so then you're going to say backache release. So these are the 2 things you will say. Backache release. If it is an emotion, then you're saying this fear release. So every time you're saying the word release. Now, why is the mentioning so important of the physical or the emotional pain? Let me give you an example of that. How many of you heard about what is hypothermia? Anybody heard about what is hypothermia? Hypothermia is what people can get. It's a physical problem when people get into extreme cold water. So let us say you put a body under -5. You can go into hypothermia and die. What is hypothermia? Your entire body can freeze, blood circulation stops, can't breathe. By the way, what happens when the blood circulation stops? Blood doesn't go to the brain. When blood doesn't go to the brain, what doesn't go to the brain? Oxygen doesn't go to the brain, so you're not able to breathe. Eventually, you die. So this is called hypothermia. Now, hypothermia, the major reason behind hypothermia is extreme cold. Now, as per this science, logically, is extreme cold good for you? No. But now here is the weird part. Anybody has heard about ice bath therapy? Ice bath therapy. Have you heard about it? Okay. So there is this very weird experiment that if you Don't tell a person about ice bath therapy and you give them ice bath without the intention behind it, they can get hypothermia. But if you explain the science to them, if you explain the intention of ice bath, that ice bath can actually make you have your immune system can become stronger and all of those benefits, give only 5 minutes of clarity to anybody. What is the power of ice bath therapy? Now you put the same person into ice bath with -5 temperature. Do they get hypothermia? No, their immune system starts getting healed. Now, this is weird. Same -5 temperature, before explaining, behaves differently, after explaining, different. So, has the ice water changed? Who has changed? Your subconscious has changed. This is the power of intention. When you have the right intention, the same ice water reacts on your body very, very differently. Now, how many of you are hearing this for the first time, by the way? Type in crazy if you think this is a crazy exercise. That the same ice water can make a person die. But the same ice water, if you tell them there is a benefit to it, suddenly they feel empowered by it. I'll give you one more example. How many of you have heard about this movie called Sholay? In Sholay, there is a very beautiful scene where Dharmender shouts something. Basanti, in kutton ke samne mat nachna. How many of you remember that scene? Right? And basically in that scene, if you remember, what is Basanti doing? What is Hema Malini doing in that scene? Anybody remembers? She's dancing on broken pieces of glass. Do you remember that now? And she gets hurt. So that movie somehow, or that scene somehow, tells everybody that if you step on something sharp, you're going to hurt yourself. By the way, how many people have ever got cut by a small piece of glass in your childhood while playing with something or while stepping on something by mistake? Raise your hands if you've experienced that cut, right? Now, when you got that cut, it must have hurt, yes or no? How many pieces of glass were you cut by? How many pieces of glass? One piece of glass, correct? And from that day till today, one thing is clear in your subconscious. If I step on something sharp, it hurts me. How many of you agree? Now, what if I tell you that is not true? Just like hypothermia, that is not true. What if I tell you that if you walk not on one piece of glass, but if you walk on millions of pieces of broken glasses, forget about not being cut, it will actually activate your immune system. It will make you stronger emotionally and physically. Would you want to walk on millions of pieces of glass? Now, if I tell you the reason behind it and the intention and the benefit behind it, you might say yes, but you still might be a little scared. How many of you agree? But even though you're a little scared, if your intention is, I want to try. Now, what do you think happens because of that intention? Do you think that glass walk hurts you? No. I'll give you an example. So if you go to YouTube later and everyone write down this name Rodrigo. Recently, I did a podcast with a guy called Rodrigo. And if you go to YouTube and you type in my name, Mitesh Khatri, and then type in Rodrigo after that, you'll see this particular video. Okay? This is the latest podcast that I did with him. And over here, if you come to, let's say, the end of this video, over here. So what I did was, I broke some 50 water bottles. And you can see these are all water bottles here. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how I'm breaking it. Just to show you, it's all the way glass. Okay. Create an intention. What would you like to feel before and after the glass? Create an intention, I said.
I want to feel confident and strong.
Okay. Think of a goal that you really want to manifest. Okay, so I'm just going to take it directly to the end. And feel by serving them. And now open your, just step in. It's not so complicated. That's it. That's it. Now, if you see the glass breaking below his legs. Trying to go fast. Stay in the problems. The problems are not as dangerous as they seem to be. Take another step and open your eyes. Open your eyes and take another step. And take another step. And you're done. And stay there. And stay there. And imagine those people with tears in their eyes again and feel good about it. Now you're free to feel the celebration. Open your eyes.
Wow.
All right. How many of you think that was crazy?
Crazy. And
Now, how did I do it? Giving him what? One word: intention. That is how powerful your subconscious mind is. Okay? So, what right now you're doing is every time you're tapping, you're using two words. This physical pain, release, you're giving it that intention to release. That is very critical. So, don't take it for granted. That is why I showed you this whole exercise. Now, let me show you the exact points. So, everybody, please do this with me. 2 fingers. This is the beginning. Where is the second point? Here. Third point? Here. So if you see, come back again, 1, 2, and 3. It's like a triangle, right? You cover this whole area. So once again, 1, 2, and 3. Now you take all 4 fingers and you go directly on the head, on the center of your head. Tap here. Now you take 2 fingers again and you tap here. So if you observe from your eyes, you're coming down here. Upper lips, lower lips. Face is complete. Let's start the face again. Where did we start from? Show me your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and done. So in 6 steps, we've completed our face tapping. Now we take 4 fingers like this again on both your hands this time because you've got collarbones on both your areas of your neck. So you start tapping here, and the same 2 words you're going to be saying: this fear, release. Now underarms 1, underarms 2, right? So this way your upper body is complete. Now we do the third part, which is fingers. Now, when you're doing the fingers, there's something unique you have to do. When you're doing it in the thumb area is the same. For each finger, the area is the same, where the line of your fingernail meets your skin. Okay, so this is also called as the cuticle area. Now, when you start with the thumb, you're going to say all the fear in every area of my life, release. So for an example, if you're doing fear for healing, here, are we saying fear for healing now? No. Here we're saying fear of which kind? All. So if you're doing, for an example, frustration for talking to your mother-in-law, here are we doing frustration for mother-in-law? No, here we're saying frustration for what? All areas of life. You got it? Same thing if it's a pain. Say, let's say it's headache. Are you here saying headache? No. Here you're saying any physical pain of my life, any headache in any area of my life, release, and you're tapping it. Now comes the main part. For this particular finger, when you go to the index finger and you're tapping here, you're going to say pain or fear or frustration, whatever you're working on. Let's say you're right now working on fear. You're saying fear in the area of my health, release. So everyone tap on the first finger like this and say health. Second one say relationships. Third one say career. And little finger say money. Everybody remembers now? So let's start again. Thumb area is what? Show me with your hand. Thumb area is what? All areas of life. What is the first finger? Health. Second finger? Relationships. Third finger? Career. Fourth finger? Money. HRCM is the sequence. So what's the science here? What I discovered when I was doing this was that as I realized I was doing EFT, for some people EFT was working, for some people EFT was not working, and I realized why. Because we're using EFT only on that one area of life, whereas can emotion live in only one part of your life? Is that possible? No. Emotion is an emotion. Once it's in your life, it will work in which area? All areas of life. So I realized that what if I tried to use EFT in all areas of life? So this is where I intentionally took the emotion on my thumb saying, the intention is all areas of my life release. Health release, relationship release, career release, money release. And then you come back here to your final step. And once again, even though I'm feeling this fear in my life, for healing, now you come back to the healing part so that your intention remains clear. That even though I have this feeling of fear when I'm healing, in spite of that, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Hands like this, take a deep breath, relax, and you're done. Okay? So now I'm going to go a little fast. I want you to do it with me. Where do we start? Show me your hands. Even though I have this pain or this feeling, in spite of that, what do we say? I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. How many times? 3 times. Deep breath. 2 fingers, both hands. Where do we go? Show me your hands. Eyebrows, second. Sides, temples. Third, below the eyes. Third, fourth, over here on the top of the head. Fifth, upper lip, lower lip. So face is done. 4 fingers, where do we go? Neck, collarbones, underarm 1, underarm 2, upper body done. Now we go towards your hands, your fingers. This is for that emotion release in which area of life? All areas of life. Next finger, health, relationships, career, money. Coming back to this area of your life, saying, whatever fear I have in the area of healing, in spite of that, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Hands like this, take a deep breath and relax. Is everybody understanding a little bit of the science now? Okay, perfect. So this time, I want you to do the EFT on your own without my guidance. Everybody okay? I've done it literally 3 times with you. Once I've done it as a proper demo with all of you. Twice I've explained the whole process to you. Okay? So please do it on your own now. The first round, I'm going to watch you. I'm going to be on video and I will passively guide you, which means I will not verbally speak. I will only say half the statements. Second round, I want you to do one more round, but completely without my guidance after that. Is that okay? So first is partial guidance. Second is 100% without me. Okay? Here we go. I'll start the music again for you. I'll keep the music a little loud because I'm not going to be speaking much. Okay. Even though I have this emotion, this pain, in spite of that, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Even though I have this pain or emotion, in spite of that, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Right, 3 times done. Take your hands like this. Take a deep breath. Raj, do it with me. Notes later. Notes later. 2 fingers like this and start tapping with those 2 words. Pain release or emotion release. Be with me. Pain or emotion, whatever it is, say it loudly, release. This pain, this emotion, 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 release. 4 fingers. This pain, this emotion, release. Underarms 1, this pain, this emotion, release. Underarms 2, this pain, this emotion, release. This emotion or this pain in all areas of my life, release. This emotion in the area of my health, release. This emotion in the area of my relationships, release. Reshma, do it with me. This emotion in the area of my career, very good, release. This emotion in the area of my financial life, release. Once again, even though I'm feeling this pain, even though I'm feeling this fear, this emotion, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Take your hands like this. Take a deep breath, please. All right. Everybody ready without my guidance now? My video is going to go off, but write down in the chat window and your notepads, what are you working on? Always start with that. Physical or emotional pain, intensity on a level of 1 to 10, how long is it going on for? And if it is an emotional pain, close your eyes, feel the emotion, make it worse. Check where in your body are you feeling the sensation, please. Please do it now. If it's a physical pain, you know where the sensation is, just mention it over there. Okay, that's it. Now open your eyes and let's get ready to work on the release of that technique. 1, 2, and 3. Go, without my help. Once you're done, just type in done in the chat window. All right, this is good. Perfect. So a lot of you are done. How many of you are finding it easy now? There's nothing to it. The only technique which requires a little bit of intuition was the first one, the most powerful one, which is conversational hope. No. The rest of the techniques that I'm teaching you are so simple. It's like a magic pill. You take it and it works on you, right? So when you're doing EFT now, once again, it's important that you don't only practice on yourself, but you practice on somebody else. So how many of you are now ready and confident to practice in Zoom rooms? Raise your hands. Now, this time when you go into Zoom room, my request is let's focus on releasing any emotion which stops you from being a healer. How many of you think that's a great idea? Now, it can be fear, it can be nervousness, it can be lack of confidence, it can be feeling small, it can be feeling not good enough, it can be doubt. Any emotion that you feel is stopping you right now from being a magical healer and stopping you from taking action. For an example, it can even be, I don't feel like taking action to start my healing batch. Okay, you can work even on that particular emotion. So let's use each other's support to heal each other as a healer. In case some of you have none of those problems, let's say you're very confident because some of you are very senior members attending the group right now. You don't have that problem. Work on any physical healing problem, because after this emotion, physical healing is an amazing proof that EFT works. If that is not there, if the physical problem is not there, then work on any of your emotional blocks for money. I think almost everybody has a lot of emotional blocks for money. How many of you agree with that? So release any one of that. But priority would be the magical healing, frustration or fear or any such emotion that you have that stops you from being a magical healer. Let's go. All right, welcome back from Zoom rooms. How many of you had a great experience with the EFT technique this time? Awesome. Let's share your results. Raise your Zoom hands. Okay, starting with Mahendran. Welcome back, Mahendran. Who did you practice with? What did you feel?
Thank you, Mitesh. I just
Most
wanted
welcome.
to say one thing, that every time we attend, you continue upgrading and
Thank you.
every time we get total new, fresh experience and upgraded experience. I wanted to really listen.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Mahendran.
And we worked on 3 areas. I worked on inaction. Other person worked on inconsistency, and another person on we could
Wow.
do 2.5 rounds, we can say. And it was
Amazing.
completely great. Yeah, between
Congratulations. Did the sensations go down for everybody?
absolutely.
Wow.
We could
Beautiful.
experience
Amazing. All of
so
you on
much.
mute, give him a high five. Congratulations for being a magical healer.
Congratulations for being a magical healer.
All right, and let's go next to Raj. Hey, Raj, go for it. Who did you practice with? Raj, I'm not able to see you. Okay, now you're there. Try to unmute from your side. You got it. Okay, perfect.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Boliye.
Sorry, I forgot the name of the lady.
No problem.
Yes, but she was experiencing lack of confidence or self-doubt and little bit fear in making this career.
Okay.
And in heart, she was feeling the emotion, and the intensity was 8.
Wow.
So we practiced, and that she told that she did not. After the practice done, she did not have anything in the heart.
Wow.
Heart was light. And
Amazing.
intensity went down to from 8 to 3.
Wow. Awesome.
And,
How are you feeling?
her-
How easy was it for you?
Yeah, I think her name is Janvi. Somebody
Janvi, okay.
mentioned it.
And how
Yeah.
easy was it for you versus difficult?
Because it's new, but it was not that difficult.
Awesome.
But yeah, I tried, and yeah, interacting with the new people and doing it in English. I'm doing chikitsa but I do it in Hindi.
No problem. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
The tapping points are the same. Janvi, how are you
Yes,
feeling
yes.
after the exercise?
Yeah,
Yeah,
much
it's
better.
good, great.
I did it so many times with you practice and then this. So I'm feeling a lot lighter
Amazing.
and a
Awesome.
little more confident, I would say.
Excellent. All of you on mute, give her a high five and him. Congratulations for being magical healers.
Congratulations for being a
Congratulations
magical
for being
healer.
a magical healer.
Okay, let's go to one more. And we've got Kavita. Yes, Kavita. Who did you practice with, Kavita? Kavita, can you hear me? Hello, Kavita? Can you hear me?
Wow, Kavita. Yeah, आज कविता हिल झाली.
If you can hear me, tell me what did you practice with and who?
कोण है?
Kavita, Mitesh, I can see you. You're on spotlight.
या सर मैंने नहीं ये किया था.
अच्छा, आपने
Sorry.
हाथ रेज नहीं किया था. Okay, ठीक
नहीं,
है. So
sir.
going to the next one, we've got Sarita. Sarita, who did you practice with?
Hi, so I practiced with Ashish.
Okay.
Okay, and I was feeling this emotion of stuck, and
All
intensity
right.
was 8, I would say.
Okay.
And after the conversational EFT, the intensity went to 0 completely.
Whoa, this is amazing. And you were
And
feeling
the
stuck in
way-
which area?
I would say in my career and my financial areas. And the way he was saying, I felt like, oh my God, how is he saying this? What I'm feeling internally. And I felt
Amazing.
like it really connected me so well, and the pain went literally 0.
Wow. Beautiful. Congratulations to both of you. All
Thank
of
you
you on mute, give them a high five. Congratulations for being magical healers.
Congratulations for being a magical healer.
Congratulations for
Awesome. The technique that you're about to learn after this is even more magical. This one is more for releasing anything which is stuck in your body anywhere, just like the letting go technique. But the next particular technique I have dedicated to relationships. And I created this technique as a new technique in the last 2 batches only. The reason I did that is because I personally was stuck in my relationship with a good friend of mine where there was some negativity that was going on between me and him. And I was able to heal that by creating something new as a technique. And that's the technique I've added. I call it the best in you. Sorry, the best in me invites the best in you. Write down the name of this technique. The best in me invites the best in you. Now, how does this technique work? How do you feel it? How do you practice it? It's a good half an hour experience. So we'll do this once again when you come back from break. So here we go. Time for break is going to be exactly 15 minutes. During this break, can I request you to practice EFT one more round? How many of you are okay with that? Okay, perfect. Remember, before start practicing, always measure the benchmark. What are you feeling? What is the intensity? How long has it been there? Then do the EFT round, then measure it again. See if you can take any one emotion or physical pain going down all the way down to 0. Okay, here we go. Starting 15 minutes.